In this video, I'm going to finish my outdoor kitchen. A few weeks ago, I decided to build an outdoor kitchen. This has always been my dream. And in the previous videos, I built the brick walls and the worktop. Today, I'm adding the doors and the barbecue. First, I'm gonna cut this piece of plywood to sit right here for the barbecue. And then I'm gonna use all this wood to make the doors. I'm gonna fix them on the walls, see how they look like. If they look nice, I'm just gonna leave it as is. If they don't look so nice, then I think I'm gonna paint everything. I've already measured everything right here, so I need a piece 92.5 centimeters by, let's say, 68, and I'm gonna cut it with my new circular saw. I'm adding the markings to the plywood using my new ruler, and then I use my circular saw for the first time to cut it. That's pretty good. As you can see, the plywood fits quite nicely, not bad for using the circular saw for the first time. So that's done. Doors up next. So on this side, I'm gonna be making two doors on that side as well. On this side, I need 4 pieces of wood for each door, and they're gonna be cut to 87 centimeters tall. And on this side, it's 3 pieces of wood for each door. They're gonna be cut for about 66 centimeters. Nice. I've cut 1 piece, and then I'm cutting the remaining 7 pieces that will go on the front. There is also 4 pieces that are going on the back, and I'll use them to nail everything together. Right, I've cut all the pieces for the big doors, and now I'm gonna cut the pieces for the small doors, which are 66 centimeters tall. For the small doors, I'm cutting the 6 pieces that will go on the front and the 4 pieces that will go on the back. Let's do door number 1. So here's how I imagine this is gonna be. So these 2 are gonna go top and bottom, something like this, and then all of these are just gonna go and sit right on top. But they're also going to be overlapping with each other just a bit. I think it's nicer. Yeah. So this is supposed to be about 50 centimeters, and let's see. So 50 centimeters. I have 4 of these. 15 each. So they need to overlap by about 2.5 centimeters. Okay, let's do it. That sits quite well. But before I do any of that, actually, I need to treat the wood wherever I touched it. So all the places I've cut it, everything else is already treated, but everywhere I've cut, obviously, that's not. And I want to try and preserve this, so I've got a treatment right here. I'm gonna do it now. If I manage to open it. Had this problem before. Oh, there we go. If I can be more efficient, just put this all in at the same time. Yeah, there you go. Much faster. Alright, I'm gonna leave it to dry and then go another round, and then we'll continue with the actual nailing everything down. I'm laying the 2 pieces of wood at the back and then using my rafter square to make sure the front pieces sit at 90 degrees. And overlap by 2.5 centimeters. Look, door number 1, done. See the other ones. Second door done as well. I think I'm gonna have to cut them a little bit. I don't think they're actually gonna fit well, but let's see the other 2 doors and then we can do the trimming. Alright, so I made all 4 doors, but neither pair actually fits together, just by a little bit. So I think the problem is this piece is at the back for both pairs, so I think I'm just gonna trim them just a little bit on both sides, because the front seems to be fitting just fine. So I'm gonna do that and try again. I'm using my circular saw and the rafter square to trim the pieces at the back by about 1 centimeter. It's much better on this side. I'll do the other one and I'll see you again. At this point my microphone stopped working. What I'm showing you guys is that after trimming the doors, they fit together quite nicely. Then I'm explaining that I decided to fix these doors on the wall using something called the chemical anchor. Chemical anchors require you to drill a hole, clean it very well and fill it with resin. Then stick a bolt in it which remains fixed in place once the resin becomes solid. This is a good solution for brick walls which are hollow. Initially I'm using the doors and the hinges to make marks for the holes on the wall and on the doors themselves. Then I'm using my drill to make all 16 holes, which was actually incredibly challenging. I broke 3 drill bits and drained my battery 3 or 4 times. Once I've done that, I'm using a hair dryer and a little brush to get rid of all the dust. Microphone issue sorted. So I've added all the hinges to the doors. This was the last one. And now I'm ready to use this chemical anchor to install the bolts. I'm using my sealant gun to add the resin, but I quickly discovered that this isn't going to be easy. Yeah, wow, this is setting very fast. Very fast. But I wasn't going to give up, so I continued working through all the remaining holes while simultaneously trying to keep the brick clean. Oh my goodness, 2 more holes. This is so much more difficult than I thought. Oh wow, super stressful, but everything is in. Let's give it a few minutes. I think I've seen videos on YouTube and I think they're like they dry within 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something. They were already dry as I was applying it. Like I think that side is pretty much done already, but I'm gonna give it a few minutes and then check if they're all fixed in place. Okay, I think I can hang the doors. So let's go for it. I'm basically hammering this first door in and then I'm adding the nuts. Okay. I think I'm gonna put all of them in and then put the nuts on because yeah, this is taking ages. The doors are in, look. All 4 of them. That wasn't easy. I had to use a hammer and a piece of wood to get the hinges in because the bolts weren't entirely straight. But they did go in and they do actually fit well. So now what I'm gonna do is put the nuts in and then I'm gonna try and cut all these bolts because they're quite long. So let's go. From this point it took ages to screw these nuts on because I bought myself locking nuts which contain a nylon insert so they resist vibrations and they don't come off easily. Okay, that's done, all the nuts are in. It's getting late now. I'm gonna try and cut these bolts today and maybe also put the locks on the doors. But yeah, it's getting late, so I better get going. I'm using my hacksaw to cut these bolts and then I'm adding the locks until I can't see anymore. It's the morning. So yeah, it was really late last night and the battery ran out. So the last thing you saw, guys, is me putting the locks on the doors on this side. So after that, I did this side as well. And then I called it a day because I just couldn't see anything anymore. What I'm gonna do this morning is a last big job. So this shelf, I'm gonna take it out. I'm going to sand it down, and then I'm going to prime it because I want to paint it in a color that's sort of grayish, that's close to this one. With regards to the doors, I quite like them. I think they're nice and rustic. I don't think I'm gonna paint them, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Alright, let's do it. First, I spent some time sanding this plywood down and then I painted it with a primer and then with the actual paint. But very soon you guys will see why all of this is wasted effort. We can unbox this thing finally. And this is the cover. Oh wow, this is heavy. It's big. I did not expect it to be this big. It looks so nice and shiny. Put this on the side. Right, I've switched them. Put this one on top, that one is down for the moment. Just want to see what's in here. Oh, okay. Legs. And I think this is like the drip pan, like for the fats and oil, stuff like that. So let's put this in. I think the paint is dry enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this hose and I'm gonna pass it through the hole that I made earlier. Problem, I tested the barbecue and it generates quite a lot of heat underneath. So I'm worried this plywood is gonna catch fire. Like, I had my hand under, so it wasn't just that bad, but still, it's a worry. So I think what I'm gonna do is gonna remove this plywood and build a bit of a concrete slab and replace it, because I want to be on the safe side. And also the concrete slab, it's not gonna erode over time. So I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna have to wait until the next weekend. It's been 2 weeks. I've changed my mind. I said I was gonna do a concrete slab for right here, but then I thought to myself, what is the ideal solution? And the ideal solution is, it would be something like this, like a porcelain top, similar to the one I've done everywhere else. The problem was I didn't have any more, and this was really expensive. But then I thought to myself, why not order just regular paving slabs that people use on their patios? They're quite thick, they're quite strong, and they're way cheaper. So that's what I did. I've got one right here, which, as you can see, is extremely similar to the top here. I made my hole for the gas hose, and then I've got a little piece because that one's not enough to cover the whole area right here. So I've got my mortar, I've got my slurry primer, and I'm gonna put everything together. I'm laying the mortar on top of the bricks on both sides, and then I'm adding the slurry primer before installing both of the pieces of porcelain and filling the holes around them. Oh my god, the kitchen is almost ready. I am so excited. I want to do my first barbecue. It's been such a long time, so much effort to build it. I wanted one for so many years, and yeah, it's almost ready. But before I show you guys the final result, let's do a quick cost breakdown for the entire project. So today, just in this video, to make the doors and the shelf for the barbecue, that was about 150 pounds. 80 pounds for the wood, 25 pounds for the hinges and the locks, and about 45 pounds for the porcelain slabs under the barbecue. I could have saved some money on the wood because actually I only needed half of it, so it could have cost me about 40 pounds. I'm gonna try and sell that. You can see right now the overall cost from my previous videos as well. So we had 641 pounds overall for the brick walls, 304 pounds overall for the top, and the 150 pounds for today's video. So overall 1,095 pounds. So what do you think, guys? Was that a good value? I'm not sure how much it would have cost me if I've asked somebody else to do it, but I kind of enjoyed it, so it's a win. I could have saved more money as well, so I've over-ordered wood, as I said earlier. I also over-ordered bricks by about half as many, so I could have saved about 250 pounds overall, which I think could be actually a pretty good deal. But now it's time for me to finally show you what I've been doing for this last few weeks, and hopefully you like it. What an incredible moment. I'm so happy I was able to build this myself. A whole new space for my family to create new memories, have some fun, have some good food. I think it was worth all the effort, but let me know what you guys think in the comment. Should I have paid somebody else to build it for me or not? Thank you so much for watching. This is just the beginning for this channel. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.